hardware store.
Wow, that's a big hardware store.
Yeah. Down here on the left used to be a sheep farm there.
Oh, really?
Yeah, years ago. Sheep farm. Expect delays, paving ahead. Wow, wouldn't you know it?
Of course.
That place over there burnt down, they rebuilt it. It was an old church. See, they put the steeple back on the top.
It burned?
Yeah. That greenish building there on the right used to be a little grocery store there.
Oh.
When I was a little kid, I used to go in there and buy penny candy. There was a barber shop in that gray building there.
I remember I worked up around the corner from my parents' house in Montpelier when I was 16 at a little convenience grocery store just around the corner. And every Saturday, this little kid would come in with 25 cents and buy all penny candy. It was so cute. I want a hot bomb, and I want that.
You know, you used to get quite a lot of candy for a penny.
Yeah.
It wasn't one piece. Sometimes it was a bunch of candy.
Yeah. Like M&Ms
Yeah.
and Tootsie Rolls.
They had everything in jars, too.
Yes.
I wonder how many buggers I ate from other kids sticking their hands in there. I guess it didn't bother us too much. We probably ate a pound of horse shit anyway by the time we were 10.
Well, the store I worked in, the candy was behind this glass counter, and he would point, and I'd be the one to take the candy out, and I had to wear gloves.
They had them old biscuit barrels, you know, with biscuits in them. They weren't wrapped up or anything. Then they had the pickles, so the pickles, just take them out of the jar. A lot of times they'd have that old Vermont cheddar cheese up on the top of the counter, and they'll cut you off a pound or two, whatever you want.
This store didn't have that. All they carried was candy, canned goods, soda, beer. I'm trying to think what else. That was about it. It was a very small convenience
That store I had, I did everything in there. I cut meat, and I had meat grinders and meat saws. And
No, they didn't have any of that stuff there.
I did it all. Of course, back in those days, the chain stores weren't open on Sundays. They were the only ones that were allowed to stay open were the moms and pop stores. So Sundays was a big day for us on meat, because everybody wanted to barbecue, and they'd come in and get a big chunk of beef to put on their grill.
After that, I went to work in the nursing home in Montpelier, and I worked in the kitchen cooking, and they had 16 patients, or 16 residents, and I do dishes and cook and everything, and then when I got to be 17, I could help with the patients.
I think my dishes need to be done. Are you good at it?
Yes. You don't have a dishwasher?
Yeah, my two hands. I only have 7 plates, so when I use up my 7 plates, I have to wash them. I put them into a dish tray, or a plastic thing in there. And on there, every 7 days, everything gets a good washing.
I have a dishwasher, But I only run it like once a week because we use paper plates a lot.
Yeah, I really didn't ever really need one. I guess if there was a bunch of us living there and there had a lot of dishes, that would be different. But he does his own dishes. He has 2 plates.
Well, David's a good cook anyway. He's a sous chef. He went to cooking school. Well, anyway, he does dishes a lot. She doesn't do anything.
Lays in her bed all day.
Stays in her room and does makeup.
Is it working?
No, she doesn't make any money doing it, and she has switched 4 times to a different company, and she doesn't make any money.
Well, she's out of your hair. She's down in the other room.
That's right. And my son is probably going to go into a training for a job, and they'll pay him $500 a week while he's training. Goes on the 30th. My daughter's going to come and take him to have his interview and everything.
I don't see at that age where I could stand not working.
I know.
I mean, it's just part of life. You just have to work.
Yeah.
He's taking his retirement early then.
Yeah, I wish he would just go to his doctor and get on disability because he's got a nerve problem in his back and it really hurts him sometimes so he can hardly move. And I keep saying, get to your doctor and get on disability.
Why would he want to do that when he's got you supporting him?
Well,
It's easier this way.
yeah, well, I put my foot down and I said, either work or you might be getting out.
I was hoping you'd adopt me so I could have extra money.
Well, dwindling my savings down quite a bit.
Well, you're the only one to blame for it.
That's true.
Yeah.
No, I don't have anybody to blame but myself. My son said, if you kick us out, I'm never going to speak to you again.
Oh, thank God. Well, we have to stop. We made it quite a ways without any construction.
And I said to my son, I said, well, then I guess there'll be nothing for Christmas or birthdays if you don't speak to me.
I don't do the Christmases and that stuff anymore.
No?
Where you buy gifts and stuff.
Yeah,
It's just too much.
it is.
You know, and the kids and, most of the grandkids are all grown up. So
I give them money for Christmas and a couple gifts, and that's it.
I assume my grandkids will be making more kids. Then they'll be great-great-grandkids.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
I have 2 great-granddaughters. I hardly ever see them.
So listen, when they want gifts, they always want something that costs $200-300.
I know.
They can't have a simple card with $10 in it, and they just snub their nose at it.
Yeah.
Call you a cheap son of a blank. My father always went to landfills and stuff and got us skates and skis and stuff. He'd fix them up and paint them, and he put a lot of work into it. I think I thought more of that than if he'd just bought us new bicycles or something, because I know he worked on it and he did what he could. But as you get older, you always want you to give your kids better than what you had it, and
Oh, yeah.
and they want more and more and more. My kids grew up in that store down there. You'd think everything was free, Couldn't get it through their head. I still had to pay for it. Oh, no, it's free. You own the store. I said, it wasn't free. I paid for it.
Yeah, really.
That's where Daniel gained all of his weight, was working in that store, eating ice cream out of the ice cream box. Here we go, into the wild blue yonder.
Oh, it looks like it's clearing off now.
Yeah, I knew it was going to be a beautiful day for a ride.
Yeah, the temperature's going to get up there, up into the upper 80s, and in some places 90.
Well, we could stop at Lake Champlain and do a little skinny dipping.
The water temperature's only 61.
Well, now then, that's probably not a good idea. Then
No.
I'd get my toe in it, and then I'd probably just jump right back out.
My sister, I think, is at camp in North Hero right now, her and her husband. That camp is a 3-bedroom camp, and it's a nice camp. It has a big side yard, so you can go out and sun yourself, and you go right across the road, and there's the lake. My kids used to love to go there in the summer. And right after they got out of school, my parents would say, okay, the kids are coming with us for 2 weeks. And you guys can come up on the weekends. But other than that, and they'd spoil them rotten. They got to swim and fish, and they loved it.
Champlain's a nice lake.
It is. I remember we used to get on the air mattress and go along the shore, and we'd find lures that people lost when they were fishing. So we'd dive down and get them and bring them back and give them to my dad so he could put them in his tackle box. Got a lot of free lures that way.
I used to like to fish down there. Usually in the springtime, we'd go down, and when the water was still high, and go pickerel shooting.
Oh.
You know, we'd take a 22 and go out in the boats and shoot the pickerel. But that's illegal now. You can't shoot the fish anymore.
No. Oh, it was funny. Of course, bass have to be 10 inches long at least before you can keep them. Otherwise, you got to throw them back. And when we'd go down on shore, my mother would come down with a paper bag, and she goes, if you get any of those trout that are not the right size, just put them in this paper bag, and I'll take them up to camp and clean them, and we can have them.
Lawbreaker.
But we used to catch a lot of perch. And sometimes northerns.
I like those walleyes too.
Yes. Yeah.
Used to go to Swanton and catch them. They used to run up the Lamoille River to lay their eggs.
And then those slimy eels. We used to cut the line if we caught those, because you put them in the boat, you can't get the slime off. I used to water ski. I loved water skiing.
You don't hear people doing much of that anymore.
No, now it's tubing. Get on this big inner tube behind the boat and have it pull you. old for this.
$55? Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
That was quite a little while ago.
Yes. I said, no, not for me anymore. Oh, I remember one time we went to, where was it? Missisquoi Bay. And this guy in a pickup truck had a cover with him. And he had something covered in the back of his truck. And some people stopped and they were talking to him, just gabbing, and he